How do you get the most out of the Assault class on the Battlefront? I'll break down the weapons, star cards, and tactics that you'll need to storm the enemy position and capture the objective on this edition of the Battlefront Survival Guide. Each class in Battlefront 2 comes equipped with 3 abilities. First, for the Assault class, is the Thermal Detonator, a grenade which explodes a few seconds after being thrown. Next is the Scan Dart, which will reveal enemy locations for a short time.
Hostiles in range.
The third ability is the Vanguard, which enables fast movement and equips a shotgun blaster for high damage in close quarters. Each infantry class has a default weapon appropriate to the era in which you are playing, but there are 4 additional weapons which can be earned through gameplay. First is the A280. This weapon has a 3-round burst with 3 attachments: a dual zoom, improved cooling, and increased range. The dual zoom essentially gives you 2 levels of magnification, but I'm not trying to snipe anyone with a burst weapon, so that basically has no use to me. However, anytime I can improve the cooling of my weapon or increase the range, I'm going to do it. The range basically means that your damage fall-off distance is increased. So anytime I can maximize the damage of each shot I'm taking, I'm going to use that. Next is the CR2, which has an extremely fast rate of fire but a very short range. The attachments are a reduced recoil, an ion shot, and night vision. Now the ion shot is good for taking out turrets and shields, but not much else. And your opportunities to do that at close range are slim to none. The night vision is fine, but if you're spending a lot of time using a scope on this weapon, you're doing it wrong. So for me, the only attachment I use is the reduced recoil. Third is the EL-16 HFE, which is an improved version of the default weapon for the Resistance. It has higher damage, but a much slower rate of fire. The attachments are a reduced recoil, improved range, and a dual zoom. Now with this weapon, the dual zoom is not really a terrible attachment. It's not a bad weapon to snipe with, especially if you can get headshots. The rate of fire is slow enough that you can do single fire at a distance and actually have some success. So it's almost like having 2 weapons in one. You just have to decide which feature you like best about it. Lastly, the E11D, which is a brand new weapon. It has the same stats as the default blaster, but the attachments improve the performance. Those attachments are a reduced recoil, a flashlight, and improved range. The flashlight comes over from Ewok Hunt, where it was very useful highlighting Ewoks when you didn't have any other sources of light on the map. As it is, I'm not sure why anyone would want this. It's not really very effective, even on night maps, because it simply reveals your position to the enemy. So for me, I'm just using the reduced recoil and the improved range. Now let's talk about the star cards. Each class can equip 3 of these cards, which grant certain boosts or other weapons and equipment to your soldier. The first group is the boost cards. For the Assault class, these include Assault Training, which refreshes your health with each elimination up to a maximum of 40. Bodyguard, which reduces the damage you take from explosions and toxins up to a maximum of 40%. Expert Weapons Handling, which increases the duration of your weapon cooling success state when you activate the cooling flush in the gold area up to 66% longer. Marksman, anytime you defeat an enemy with a headshot, it instantly cools your weapon and reduces the amount of overheat until the next time by up to a maximum of 40%. Survivalist, which shortens your health regeneration delay by 40%. Bounty Hunter, which increases battle points gain up to 20% more. Resourceful, which gives your abilities a shorter recharge time, up to 28%, and Brawler, which gives you health back on a melee kill up to 100. Then for the ability cards, replacing the Thermal Detonator, you have the Improved Thermal Detonator, with a decreased recharge time, and upgrades increase the blast radius up to a maximum of 7 meters. The Smart Ion Grenade, which damages vehicles, turrets, shields, and infantry, and upgrades increase the fuse time to a maximum of 10 seconds, which, I'll be honest, doesn't really mean anything, as the grenade will detonate on impact with any object. They really need to change the bonus to this star card, but the community has complained about this before, and DICE has yet to change it. As it stands, no one is complaining about its effectiveness because it damages both vehicles and infantry. Personally, I think it should be changed to only damage vehicles, turrets, and the officer's shield. Then we have the acid launcher, which is a gas projectile, and upgrades decrease the recharge time up to a maximum of 32 seconds less. Replacing the scan dart is the improved scan dart, which is active longer, revealing enemy locations up to a maximum of 14 seconds. The flash pistol, which is a small blaster firing a blinding projectile. Flash duration can be upgraded to 2.5 seconds. And Toughen Up, which regenerates your health. Upgrades decrease the recharge time to 22 seconds. Replacing the Vanguard is the Recharge Vanguard, which instantly recharges your abilities. Upgrades decrease the recharge time to 18 seconds. Killstreak Vanguard, which replenishes the active time on kill. Time regained for every kill is 55%. And the Slug Vanguard, with improved accuracy and range. And upgrades decrease the recharge time to 18 seconds. For the tactics on the Assault class, you have one job: to get kills and do damage. The Assault class abilities and ability cards are designed to do as much damage as possible in a short amount of time, while the weapons are optimized to provide a balance between fire rate and damage output, depending on your playstyle. The idea is for you to choose the loadout that best complements your style. Play at or near the objective. If you're playing for a high kill-death ratio, you should be looking at becoming a great hero player instead. You will die a lot, so just get used to the idea. The name of the game is volume over survivability. To maximize your ability to do your job, i.e. get kills or do damage, you have to be where the action is. If you need to capture an objective, you need to attack it early and often. If it is a capture zone objective, just by playing in the zone you'll earn score points and XP. If it is an activation objective, you must activate it or defend it from deactivation. If it is a destructible objective, you should be destroying it. If you can play just beyond the objective to cut off the enemy's approach, so much the better. Use your star cards situationally. Practice using different star cards based on the tactical approach you'll need during the match, or again, based on your playstyle. The improved thermal detonator is a must if your map has choke points or places where enemies like to cluster, like on Naboo. If you are an aggressive player, you might find the most value from using Assault Training, Survivalist, and Toughen Up, all three designed to keep your health up. If you are playing a capture zone objective as the defending team, or an activation objective you need to be near to defend, you might use Bodyguard to reduce the damage you take from explosives and acid launchers, and maybe the Killstreak or Recharge Vanguard to be able to get kills more quickly in a close quarters situation. If you're attacking a zone capture objective, then you might consider Acid Launcher to damage enemies within the zone and possibly clear some out. If you're playing Galactic Assault, then the Smart Ion Grenade will maximize your damage against vehicles, which is a great way to earn more score and XP, plus it also damages infantry in a pinch. If you're playing Blast, I highly recommend Assault Training, Toughen Up, and Bodyguard, because grenades are flying everywhere. If you're interested in earning battle points for reinforcements, vehicles, and heroes, the Bounty Hunter card is an absolute must. For my personal loadout, I used to play as if getting heroes was my most important objective, therefore I always ran with the Bounty Hunter card active. These days, though, I'm interested in experimenting more with other cards. In any loadout, improved thermal detonator is usually a must, followed by improved scan dart. After that, I'll run with either Bodyguard or Survivalist. Many times I'll skip the improved scan dart and just use Assault Training or Resourceful, depending on what mood I'm in. Strategy for leveling up quickly. The best mode to level up quickly, especially as a beginner or casual player, is Supremacy. First, area capture objectives are the easiest to play because all you have to do is be in the zone. You will gain more points and XP and get bonuses for kills while in the objective zone. Supremacy rounds last the longest of any mode, so you will very naturally get more kills and more XP. Plus, with the enemy AI bots, you will win more 1 versus 1 scenarios. With the advent of co-op mode, it is now also a great option for leveling up your classes and heroes. You still earn XP and credits, and fighting waves of enemies really teaches you how to play situationally. If you want to prepare your reflexes and instincts to get the most kills, then Blast is the best training ground. Doing damage to enemy vehicles and heroes gains more points than against infantry, so keep that in mind. Lastly, keep an eye out for double and triple XP events. You will level up so much faster if you play more during these periods. Follow the Battlefront Survival Guide on Twitter at BattlefrontSG, as well as EA Star Wars to keep abreast of these events. That's all I have for you. Remember to subscribe to the channel and click the bell icon to make sure you receive more news and analysis such as this. If you'd like to support the channel, you can buy me a coffee at the link in the description. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.